The Invisible Man, published in 1952 by Ralph Ellison, is a powerful novel that explores identity, race, and society in the United States. The story is told by an unnamed black narrator who feels invisible, not because he can't be seen, but because others refuse to truly see him for who he is. Through his journey, readers see how racism and stereotypes shape the world around him and force him to question who he really is. The novel begins with the narrator living underground in a secret basement filled with light bulbs, which he powers by illegally tapping into electricity. He tells his story as a reflection on how he came to feel invisible. As a young man in the South, the narrator is a model student and gives a speech at his high school graduation. He is invited to speak at a gathering of white community leaders, but is humiliated first by being forced to participate in a brutal battle royal, a blindfolded boxing match among black boys for the entertainment of the white men. Afterward, he delivers his speech and receives a scholarship to a black college, which he believes will lead to success. At college, the narrator works as a driver for one of the white trustees, Mr. Norton. One day, he takes Mr. Norton to a poor area near campus and introduces him to Trueblood, a black sharecropper who scandalously impregnated his own daughter. Mr. Norton is fascinated by the story, but when the college president, Dr. Bledsoe, finds out about the visit, he is furious. Though the narrator believed he was helping, Dr. Bledsoe accuses him of endangering the school's image. Pretending to support him, Bledsoe sends the narrator to New York with fake letters of recommendation, which secretly tell others not to help him. In Harlem, New York, the narrator finds work in a paint factory where he gets caught in an explosion and ends up in a hospital. The doctors treat him inhumanely, using electric shock therapy. After his release, he struggles to find work and is drawn into street life. One day, he delivers a passionate speech after witnessing an elderly couple being evicted, which attracts the attention of a political group called the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood claims to fight for justice and racial equality. The narrator is given a new identity and asked to stop using his personal past in his speeches. He becomes a public speaker for the organization and is initially successful. However, he soon realizes that the Brotherhood is more concerned with using people for their cause than truly helping anyone. When he tries to speak out on behalf of a local black leader named Clifton, who was killed by the police, the Brotherhood criticizes him for not following the party line. The narrator begins to realize that he is being exploited and manipulated by various groups throughout his life. He has been told who to be by school officials, bosses, political leaders, and others, but no one has genuinely tried to understand him. He is a symbol, a tool, a voice, but never a real person to them. This realization deepens his sense of invisibility. As tensions rise in Harlem, the narrator returns to the streets and sees the community preparing for rebellion. When riots break out, he becomes involved in the chaos, but feels unsure of where he truly belongs. Angry crowds chase him, and he ends up falling into a manhole, where he decides to stay underground. There, cut off from the world, he reflects on his life and chooses to write his story. By the end of the novel, the narrator has come to embrace his invisibility as a form of freedom. He understands that being unseen by society allows him to define himself. He no longer wants to fit into roles that others create for him. Instead, he chooses to explore who he is on his terms. The book ends with the narrator preparing to return to the surface, not to be who others want him to be, but to face the world as his true self. Commentary. The Invisible Man is a profound and emotional story about a young black man's quest to discover his true identity in a world that refuses to see him clearly. He faces numerous challenges, including being mistreated at school, work, and by those who claim to want to help. The main character tries to follow the rules and please others, but each time, he is used or ignored. Through his struggles, he learns that he must decide for himself who he wants to be. Although the book contains mature themes and advanced language, it teaches powerful lessons about identity, honesty, and how society can make people feel invisible. It demonstrates the importance of thinking for yourself and not simply accepting what others tell you. The Invisible Man encourages readers to look deeper, not just at others, but at themselves. It's a story about becoming seen by first learning how to see truly.